I was there when needed someone who wasn't getting over you. When I move to the side, when I move, call you mine, and I know what you're feeling. I'ma take you for a ride, let me take it off your mind, cause you know it's a season.
Hi everyone, I am Fiel Stephen Abindanyo and I will be reporting about the railway or railroad capacity or transit. So let us define what is railway and railroad. So railway is a track on which a train runs. It is to be understood that railway is the international term that is commonly used in the most parts of the world. This may be a result of the British influence in the world during the days of the British Empire. If you are take Hong Kong, which was the former British territory that still uses English as an official language, you will see that they use the terms railway to refer to a train tracks. Even in the countries like Australia, the terms railway is commonly used. So, ang railway daw, mo doon siya ang dalan sa mga train. So, kaparehas din na siya sa national highway. So, di ba, mo na siya ang dalan sa mga bus, taxi, motor vehicle. So, ang tawag po daw sa agianan sa train is railway or riles in Tagalog. So, what is the difference between railways and railroad? So, daghan og nagaingon nga lahi daw definition sa railway o railroad. So, let's define. So, the difference between railway and railroad is the practice rather than it's the meaning of the two words. So, if you are from the UK, any of the Commonwealth countries, railway is the term that is used to refer to a system of rails and trains that move at fast speed on these rails on tracks, carrying hundreds of passengers and cargo to the long distances. The same railways becomes railroad. If you are in the US, even in the Canada, the word used is railway. Actually, it all boils down to the convention and usage, and while the railway is much more popular term to refer to a system of trains and tracks, these trains run on railroad also refers to the same system. So, wala sila difference. Nagadepende siya sa how people will define or practices nila, di ba? Ang uban kay, di ba, for example, diri sa atua, di ba, ginatawag nato siya og ang kalsada ginatawag nato siya national highway, ang uban ginatawag siya national road. So they have the same meaning and the same function ang railway and railroad. So let's go back to our main topic. So the railway or railroad capacity concept. So what is the concept of this? So in the context of railways transportation, the capacity of railways is often used to mean the number of the trains that can travel over a given section of the line during a given period of time. So typically, the capacity of rail corridor is defined as the number of trains that can safely pass a given segment within a period of time. So the capacity is affected by the variation in the system configurations such as track, infrastructures, signal system, operation philosophy, and rolling stock. So, ang concept daw sa railway o railroad capacity is to get the maximum number of trains and the maximum number of passengers. So, di ba kaparehas po siya sa kanang bus, taxi, or other vehicle nga kanang mapa-private or public, di ba? Na siya mga maximum passengers, di ba? Na siya maximum vehicle like sa bridge, di ba? Na siya maximum weight lang ang allowed. Kini siya dili siya allowed diraa. So ang railway kay naapod siya maximum o minimum. So mo ni ang concept sa railway o railroad capacity. So, which is, there is no simple way to tell that what is the capacity of railway infrastructures. It is because it depends to such a high degree on how it is used. So, nagadepende daw ang railway sa paggamit. Like, sa tuwa sa MRT, di ba? Ang MRT tungod sa kadugay na ang kanang railway, so kanang di ba perminti siya nagabalita siya nga na ay kanang aberya nga too abusive ng pud ang paggamit. So the capacity means balance. It is the balance between trains, average speed, and stability. So the capacity is the length of the cord connecting to the four axes. So what are the two types of railway or railroad capacity or transit? So there are two types of railway or railroad capacity or transit. The first is the design capacity. The second is the achievable capacity. So first, let us define what is the design capacity. So the design capacity, this is the maximum number of passenger pass a single point in an hour in one direction on a single track. Design capacity is similar to the same as maximum capacity, theoretical maximum capacity expressions used in the other work. And it makes no allowance for whether those spaces going by each hour will be used. They would be fully used only if the passengers uniformly filled the trains throughout the peak hour. So, ang design capacity daw, mo dun siya ang katong kuan kanang mo siya ang katong compute ang maximum number of the passengers sa isa ka train car. So naani siya formula. So let's go to the formula of how design capacity. So design capacity has two factors, the line capacity and the train capacity, and can be expressed as CD is equal to CL times CT, where CD is the design capacity per passenger per hour, and the CL is the line capacity trains per hour, and the CT is the train capacity passenger per train. So what is the formula of CL? How do we get CL? So these are the formula of CL. So CL is equal to 3,600 divided by the TS plus TD. So meaning the TS is the minimum train separation, the TD is the dwell time at the controlling station. So it would be multiplied by the CT, and the formula of CT or the train capacity is PC times NC, which is the PC name is total passenger per car, and the NC is the number of cars per train. So mo na siya ang formula unsaon paggamit or unsaon pag-solve si design capacity. So let us define what is the two factor of design capacity, which are the line capacity and train capacity. The design capacity in the passenger per hour per direction, or the PPHPD, is calculated using the following factors. So nasa factors. These are the number of seats per car, number of standees per car, numbers of cars per train, and train height weight. So what is line capacity? So line capacity, it is the maximum number of trains that can be operated over line in a peak hour. So di ba kung unsa kung giin kaganina, di ba ang railway naapod din siya maximum capacity nga gina accommodate. So ang tawag niya is line capacity. So si line capacity mo na siya ang gina-measure niya ang maximum number of trains that can be operated over the line in a peak hour. On the other hand, train capacity is the product of the passenger per car and the number of car adjusted to achievable capacity using diversity factor to compensate for uneven car loadings over multiple car trains. So this is the flow chart of the train capacity, which is train capacity means the number of passenger per train is equal to the passenger per car times the number of cars in trains times the diversity factor. So makita man ninyo diri as a flow chart unsay mga meanings or unsay ka ng meaning aning mga passenger per cars, number of cars, diversity factor, unsa ang kanang gina-cover niya. So the next type of railroad or railway capacity or transit is the achievable capacity. Achievable capacity means the maximum number of passengers that can be carried in an hour in one direction on a single track, allowing for the diversity of demand. The capacity of 4 track lanes is not a simple multiple of 2 single tracks and varies widely with the operating practices such as the merging and dividing for local and express services and trains holding at stations for local express transfer. So, si achievable capacity, mo nasad ni siya ang gina-measure niya ang maximum number of passenger that can be carried in an hour in one direction in a single track, allowing for the diversity of demand. So, naapod ni siya yung formula on how to compute achievable capacity. So, this is the formula of achievable capacity. CA is equal to C sub D times PHF, where C sub A is equal to, means achievable capacity, C sub D means design capacity, and the PHF means the peak or factor. So, mo ni siya ang mo ni siyang formula on how to get the achievable capacity of the maximum number of a passenger in an hour. So what is the importance of railroad or railway capacity? So, di ba, kung importance lang ang pagdiskutan, so daghan. So, capacity means balance. So, if capacity kung mag-exist or nag-exist man dyan ang capacity, no, kung gina-follow lang ni siya, so mo ni ang mga advantage sa railway transportation. So, the number 1 is dependable. The second one is better organized. The third one is high speed over long distances. The third is suitable for bulky and heavy goods. The next is cheaper transport. The next is safety. The next is larger capacity. The next is public welfare. So, kato pa lang siya nga importance or mga advantage is kulang pa lang to siya para i-elaborate kung unsa ang mga importance sa railway transportation capacity. So, since limited lang ako ang time to discuss about railroad or railway capacity, so mo lang siya ang ako ang i-represent. So, I hope you learned something for today's video. God bless and good luck.